pranks that went too far. The unexpected consequences that shook everyone. I set up a simple prank for my younger brother. I placed a bowl of cold, wet spaghetti on top of his bedroom door. The plan was simple. He walks in, and the noodles come crashing down on him. An hour later, I heard a loud crash. I ran into the hallway and found my huge, clueless dog happily rolling around in spaghetti. My brother? Completely untouched. When I was 5, I thought it would be hilarious to sneak up on my dad and scare him. I hid behind his bedroom door, waiting in silence. But instead of me scaring him, my dad suddenly jumped out and yelled, "Boo!" I was so terrified that I burst into tears. We both lost that round. A couple of guys from my school decided to prank their rival school by drawing a massive, inappropriate shape on their football field using salt. Turns out, salt kills grass. A few days later, the field had a giant, dead patch of grass in a very recognizable shape. The school had to completely dig it up and replant everything. The pranksters were caught by a janitor. They got expelled. Before April Fool's Day, I thought it'd be funny to put all of my dad's underwear in the freezer overnight. The next morning, I found him wrapped in a towel, waiting for his underwear to thaw on the bed. He actually loved the prank so much that he started freezing my stuff whenever I left it lying around. On hot summer days, waking up to chilled socks was oddly refreshing. During a basketball game between my school and a rival team, my friend decided to spice things up. He brought 5 live chicks, attached name tags with the rival team's players' names on them, and planned to release them from the rafters. He expected chaos. What he didn't realize: chicks don't fly. All 5 plummeted straight down. Some didn't survive the fall, while others just flopped around in confusion. The entire gym was horrified. He got suspended for a week. I work as a bartender. A few weeks ago, a manager came in for his birthday and asked us to pour him iced tea instead of whiskey. He wanted to look drunk but stay sober. An hour later, another manager showed up and made the exact same request. So the two of them spent the entire night drinking each other under the table, thinking they were outpacing the other. They were both amazed at how well the other was holding their liquor. At the end of the night, we finally told them the truth and poured them a real drink. Their faces were priceless. A group of seniors at my school decided to end the year with a bang. They let the air out of every single school bus tire. What they didn't realize: if you deflate tires too much, they get damaged. The result? Thousands of dollars in repair costs, canceled classes, and a few guys losing their college scholarships. At our local pub, there was this guy who always found a way to dodge his turn to buy drinks. His friends had enough. My brother? Completely untouched. The guy froze. He slowly pulled out his ticket, checked it, and after a long silence, he turned to his wife and said, "I've been cheating on you with your sister for the past 4 years. You can keep the house and the car." No one ever saw him again. Last we heard, he moved to Australia. School. I decided to prank my friend by swapping his regular chair for one covered in super glue. I thought he'd just get a little stuck and laugh it off. I was so wrong. Not only did he get stuck, but when he tried to stand up, he ripped his pants apart. The worst part? This happened in front of the entire class. The teacher sent him home to change and sent me straight to the principal's office. At a family picnic, I thought it would be funny to swap out the chocolate chips and cookies for crushed chili peppers. I expected a little screaming, some laughs, and a few jokes. But things went south fast. My grandma was the first to take a bite. Within seconds, she turned bright red, started coughing, and had tears streaming down her face. We all freaked out as she chugged milk, trying to recover. Turns out, she had high blood pressure, and I could have actually put her in danger. Never messing with food again. My friend left his car unlocked, so I thought I'd leave him a fun surprise. I filled his entire front seat with balloons. Seems harmless, right? Except he was so shocked when he saw it that he lost control of the wheel while pulling into his driveway. Thankfully, he was going slow, but he nearly crashed into a fence. I don't mess with drivers anymore. My brother had a bad habit of leaving the toilet unflushed, so I decided to teach him a lesson. I put a smoke bomb tablet inside the toilet tank so that the next time he flushed, A thick white cloud would rise from the bowl. What I didn't expect was for him to sprint out of the bathroom naked, screaming that the toilet was on fire. My mom nearly killed me, but my dad laughed so hard he cried. One night, my friends and I decided to prank a guy who was terrified of ghosts. We set it all up. One of us hid in his closet, another under his bed, and I hung a white sheet on the door. When he walked in, we started making creepy noises all at once. The result? He was so scared that he ran out of the house barefoot and refused to come back for 2 hours. His parents made us apologize. At a party, my friend thought it'd be funny to put a party popper under someone's chair. When the guy sat down, it popped way louder than expected. In his panic, he jumped up, knocked over the table, and tipped a candle onto the tablecloth. The tablecloth caught fire. We had to call the fire department. Safe to say, we never pranked with fireworks again. I thought it would be hilarious to shake up a can of shaving cream and glue the cap shut so my friend couldn't open it. But you know what happens when you shake an aerosol can too much? Yep, it explodes. When my friend forced the cap down, a massive stream of foam shot straight into his face and completely covered the bathroom. I was crying with laughter. One of my friends in high school was obsessed with lighting stuff on fire. One day, he found out you could make a flamethrower using hairspray and a lighter. And of course, he had to test it inside the classroom. Flicked the lighter and pressed down. Whoosh, a giant blue fireball shot out, lighting up the whole wall in front of him. We all thought this was the end of his academic career. But the craziest part? He didn't even get suspended. He just shrugged and said, "Well, now we know it works." A friend and I thought it would be legendary to sneak a sealed bottle of Coke with Mentos inside into an unsuspecting classmate's backpack. We knew it wouldn't explode until he opened the bottle, so we tossed it in and waited. But we forgot one crucial detail. He biked to school. By the time he got there, the Coke inside his bag had turned into a high-pressure bomb. The moment he barely twisted the cap, boom! Half the classroom was covered in sticky, brown liquid, including his face, his clothes, and all his notebooks. We were laughing until the teacher made us clean up the mess. I bought a motion-triggered alarm and set it up inside the toilet lid in my dorm. At 6 a.m., one of my roommates groggily walked into the bathroom. The moment he lifted the toilet seat, W-E-O-O-W-E-O-O. This thing was louder than a police siren. He panicked so hard, he kicked the toilet, splashed water everywhere, and started waving his arms in terror. We all got kicked out of the dorm for the entire day for disturbing the peace. Totally worth it. My brother hates waking up early, so I made him the worst alarm clock ever. I recorded myself screaming, "Fire! Get up! The house is on fire!" Then I taped a speaker under his bed and set it to go off at 5 a.m. The next morning, I woke up to pure chaos. He jumped out of bed, slammed into his closet, broke the door, and ran through the house half-conscious, trying to figure out what was happening. I would have laughed harder if I didn't have to clean up the mess afterward. My friend forgot to lock his car, and that was his first mistake. I snuck in and put a fish-scented air freshener inside his AC vents. The problem? It was summer. When he got in his car, he turned on the AC and immediately got punched in the face with the smell of a dead fish market. He jumped out of the car gagging and swore revenge. For the next 2 weeks, his car smelled like rotting seafood, and there was nothing he could do about it. I swapped the cream in a donut with mayonnaise and waited for the chaos. Dude took a huge bite, paused. I was ready for the gagging, the disgust, but he just chewed, swallowed, and shrugged. Then he looked at me and said, "Not bad, kinda tangy." At this point, I'm not sure who pranked who. What pranks have you pulled off? Share your wildest stories in the comments below.